Are you sure about this? So this is one of the most controversial topics in finance and personal finance. And I say controversial because it's one of those things that's kind of like a necessary evil. You don't really want to do it, but you have to do it, but you're super glad that you did it when, if anything happens. So in this video, we're going to talk about the importance and the power of protecting yourself with proper insurance. So let's get started. My name is Paris Clough, and this is Financial Self-Reliance. On this channel, we talk about the mindsets and the skill sets of the wealthy so that you can learn how to manage, protect, and grow your money. So one of the things that I think that's really important to remember about a whole overall financial plan is that you have to have insurance. You have to have life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, and maybe other types of insurance that you may or may not have even known about. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the more common insurances. And then we're also going to talk about a few of the ones that you probably haven't heard a lot about, and maybe add them to your portfolio of products and services and your financial plan. Over the last several videos, I've shared with you that I have a 7-step process to helping people create wealth. And the fifth one is, and these are all in order, by the way, the fifth one is to shield and protect with proper insurance. So there's different types of insurance. There's liability insurance, property insurance, health insurance, and life insurance, and a few other types of insurance we'll discuss before the end of the video. So stay tuned to the end because you're not going to want to miss some of the things we're going to talk about, some of the types of insurance we're going to talk about. I've had a lot of clients call me over the years about a particular type of insurance that often they've overlooked and nobody really got them involved at an early enough time. So hopefully you'll stay to the end of this video, you'll watch that, and you'll learn about this one important type of insurance that a lot of people overlook. So auto insurance is under liability insurance and property insurance. That's one of the types of insurance that all of us know we need to have. We can't buy a car and drive off the lot without auto insurance. Auto insurance is fairly simple. There's deductibles, there's co-insurance, there's all kinds of things to worry about. So the key here is make sure you have auto insurance if you're going to be driving on the roads, and then do your shopping every year. Do a little bit of research because you never know who might have a better deal. There might be other companies out there with better deals. I don't have a particular one I'm promoting. I'm not going to tell you to go, look at one of these apps that are out there because there's a lot of them. But definitely do your homework, do your research, and get good auto insurance. The other one that you have is renter's insurance. And this is one that not a lot of people really talk about. Renter's insurance is for those who rent an apartment or rent a home. And homeowner's insurance is different. And the reason why renter's insurance is important for people who don't quite own a home yet or are renting is because if you had a burglary or a fire, the insurance of the person who owns the home or owns that property is not going to pay to replace your things. Your personal renter's insurance is the only way for you to be able to replace your personal items if you're renting. So if you're renting right now and you don't have renter's insurance and a fire, earthquake, damage, burglary, anything like that happens, you're going to probably lose everything. So make sure you have renter's insurance and make sure you keep an inventory of all of your personal items that are in the home, in the apartment, or wherever it is you're living so that you can make a claim when it's necessary. The next one is homeowners insurance. We just kind of talked about this. Homeowners insurance is important for those that own a home. You can't have a home with a loan on it and not have homeowners insurance. In fact, if you let your homeowners insurance lapse, your lender is going to have be calling you on the phone quite a bit. So make sure you have homeowners insurance. The great thing here, as with auto insurance, is there's deductibles. There's other types of things that are involved there. So the higher the deductible, the lower the premium. So make sure that you have a deductible that you can afford. Number one. Number two, the higher the deductible, the better on the monthly, especially if you have a good, solid, strong savings account, which is step 3, what we talked about, being proactive in your finances and building up a real strong, solid savings. So if you have options for $500, $1,000, $2,500 for deductibles, and you have a good, strong savings account that can take care of that, you might get a better deal with a higher deductible that might end up being worth it. Health insurance is one of those things that all of us have, especially if we have an employer. If you work for someone else, more often than not, there's going to be a health insurance provided there. Now, there's different types of health insurance, different kinds of deductibles, co-pays, co-insurances. Make sure that you know about your max out of pocket. Make sure that if you're in California, you're under covered California. In the United States, we have Obamacare still on the exchange. There's off-exchange products and services. There's basic health insurance based on how much money you make. If you're not employed by a person who has health insurance, you're self-employed, then you're going to want to shop the exchange. You're going to want to take a look at who in your area is a good insurance agent that's going to shop the exchange and give you a good deal or find the best deal for you. I know several agents that do health insurance. I don't do health insurance for under 65. I do Medicare health insurance, but I don't do health insurance for others. So if you are looking for health insurance and want to know more about quotes in your area, hit me up at hello@financialselfreliance.net with health insurance quotes in there, and tell me the state you're in and a little bit about you, and we'll have some communication. Make sure that you, if I can get you a referral to somebody that's really good, I'll send that your way or send you their way. So something that's important when you're looking at medical expenses, that's something that all of us are going to have in life. You can't live your life without having a medical expense of some kind, whether it's dental, vision, or even hospitals, outpatients, urgent cares, and even most insurance companies, even on the exchange or even at an employer, may have significant deductibles. So there's a lot of potential for out-of-pocket costs. And so you want to have medical savings plans available for you, whether that's an HSA or another plan that I offer called a medical savings plan that is really powerful, really amazing, really strong. Hit me up at hello@financialselfreliance if you want to know more about the medical savings plan that I promote, and we'll talk and make sure it's a good fit. The next one is Medicare. I do offer Medicare. People who turn 65 or have a disability for 24 months often qualify for Medicare. You have to live in the country for United States for 5 years. You have to be a citizen in order to get Medicare. So it's a fantastic thing. Once you retire from work, often you'll get Medicare. Part A is given to you as because you've paid taxes. And so that's what covers the taxes. Part A is for hospitals. Part B is so that you can do outpatient things like doctor's offices, x-rays, labs, etc. That has a premium. So that's going to be, you have to kind of coordinate with your employer if you want to keep working past 65 to see if your health insurance at work is less expensive than getting your Part B premium. In 2023, which is the year we're recording this video, Medicare Part B is about $165 a month for the average person. It does and can fluctuate depending on your income. If you're a high income earner, it could be much higher than that. If you're a standard or low income earner, that's going to be the minimum there. So there's Part C coverages and Part D coverages, and then there's Medigap services or Medicare supplements. So there's a lot to go into once you turn 65. If you want to know more about Medicare, Medicare insurance, or Medicare products, if you or your mom or dad or anybody that you love is interested in knowing more, I actually do and have a very significant business helping and managing folks who are on Medicare. So please hit me up at hello@financialselfreliance.net and let me know that you're interested in knowing more about Medicare issues. And I will be more than happy to help you if I can. So disability insurance, often people who work for an employer pay a disability, SSI disability. They pay into that every paycheck. So that comes out of the HR situation. But self-employed people who don't have that need to get disability insurance potentially for themselves. And so if you want to know more about disability insurance, once again, hello@financialselfreliance.net, and I can help you with disability insurance, especially if you're in a state that I am licensed in. I will be happy to help you. If you're not in a state that I'm licensed in, I can probably at least give you some good information and get you started on the right track. This is the insurance I was talking about earlier in the video, where most people don't realize how necessary this is. And yet they often get to the point where they need it and it's too late because they can't get it. And that's long-term care insurance. Most people, I heard statistics along the lines of 1 out of 3 people might spend time in a long-term care facility at some point in their life, which means that long-term care insurance is going to be a really good thing for you. Now, the bad thing about long-term care is that if you don't get insurance, it's very expensive, especially depending on the state that you live in. It can be thousands of dollars a month to be in a long-term care facility if you don't have the proper insurance. Now, there's some really great products out there to cover this issue. So make sure that if you're interested in learning more about long-term care insurance, the details, if it's right for you, give me and send me an email at hello@financialselfreliance.net and let me know you're interested in long-term care insurance. So this is something that a lot of people also don't realize or get is umbrella policies. So it's great to have an umbrella policy because sometimes your auto insurance will only cover so much to a certain limit. And then your homeowner's insurance, same thing. It'll cover to a certain limit. So an umbrella policy can kind of be a catch-all. It just gives you another set of, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Personally, I have $1 million umbrella policy over my auto and homeowners so that if anything happens on my property or to my property or accident happens and I get sued, I have not only the car insurance and the homeowner's insurance to take care of me, but I also have an umbrella policy that will take care of that above and beyond what the car or auto and homeowners will take care of. So I want to get into life insurance. This is one of my favorite topics. I'm a life insurance agent. I'm a health insurance agent as well with Medicare, but I'm a life insurance agent. That's what I kind of started off with many, many years ago. And so I love to help people with life insurance. Life insurance is critical for people who have a family, people who have a spouse, and even it's critical for single people. One of the questions that a lot of single people will ask me is, why do I need life insurance? And I would say, I asked them back, I said, if you were to pass away today, who would pay for your funeral? And they might say something like their parents, their uncles, whatever it is. And I said, would a $10,000 to $20,000 bill put your family in a hardship if you were to die today? And if it would put them in a hardship, then that would be an absolute reason to have life insurance for that single person or single individual, so that their family doesn't have to pay that. Because believe it or not, there are some ways I think to do it pretty inexpensively, but believe it or not, dying is expensive and can be expensive and put a lot of people in there's the people that love you and will miss you, and they want to take time to grieve, and they might take time off. And so having some extra money might do well. Now, one of the cool things about life insurance is that a lot of people, there's a joke actually that should be called death insurance, because nobody really does anything until somebody dies. There is a lot of life insurance policies that have what are called living benefits, things that you can access while you're still alive and do while you're still alive. So if you're interested in learning more about those types of things, then hit me up at, again, hello@financialselfreliance.net. So there's three major types of life insurance policies. There's term insurance, and that lasts until a specific date. It's like renting. You buy the term insurance for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is. And then after that's over, unless you have purchased what's called a return of premium rider, you're pretty much, that's it. You spent the money and it's gone. If you didn't die. Now, 90 plus or so percent of life insurance policies that are term policies don't pay out because most people live beyond the term. And so it's not really the best way to manage your money unless you're really concerned about a particular time frame of your life where there's a significant amount of risk in that time frame that you want to maybe be safe from. So a lot of people will buy term insurance when I talk to them for, like, say, for example, the life of their mortgage, so that if anything happens while their mortgage is being paid off, they're going to be okay for that 30-year window. Another really great product is whole life insurance. Whole life insurance can be fantastic for people that are looking to, you may have even seen a lot of these TikToks out there about, creating your own bank or infinite banking. Whole life insurance is good for that. Universal life is also good for that and can do those types of things as well. So if you have seen some TikToks or seen some other people talking about infinite banking or becoming your own bank or doing things like that, send me an email at hello@financialselfreliance, and we'll make sure that I get you the information that you need for that. Because there's a lot of hype when you look or watch a TikTok video. In fact, I just had a client that called me, or I just had a man call me, and he's now my client. And he said, hey, I watched a TikTok video about these fantastic products with life insurance, with some of the things you can do, these strategies. And I said, okay, this is what it would take to do the strategy exactly the way they describe it. And he's like, man, that didn't sound like what they were talking about. And I said, well, that's because they're trying to get you excited and get you overexcited about what they can do, and only to realize that when you go actually to set it up, you've got to do, it's a whole different situation. So don't get caught up in the hype. They are fantastic. They are great. Don't get me wrong, but don't get caught up in the hype, because there's some things to think about, things to consider, and it may not be right for everybody. I don't know why it wouldn't be right for somebody, but again, I'm not going to sell you something unless it's absolutely right for you. And I don't want you to buy something that's not going to actually serve the purpose and serve the strategy that you had anticipated at the beginning. So I'm pretty sure I hit every type of insurance that you can have, that you should have, that you might consider having. And so especially life insurance, especially disability. Well, a lot of people get those things from their employer, but the thing to remember is that life insurance at an employer, if you change jobs, the average person changes his job 6 or 7 times in their lifetime. And if you change jobs, you might lose that life insurance because you only get that life insurance while you're on the job. So having your own personal life insurance plan is absolutely critical, and I highly recommend it. So I hope you got a lot out of this video. I hope that this helps you understand more about different types of insurance that you can have in your financial plan. If you missed the last video I produced, you can catch it right here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel up here, and check out this video up here that YouTube thinks you might like. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.